Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, I did finish the week with 22 wins and 5 losses for a win rate of 81.48% for the week. So I did exceed my weekly goal of 80%, so I was happy about that. Made a couple mistakes this week, but whatever. The week I'm very pleased with, so I'm not going to complain. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you are not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. So with that being said, we'll get into Monday I took SPY puts at 946 right here. 946 on SPY, right? Make sure I get the right day. Yeah, I took him at 946, which was probably right down here. Okay, let me just bring this down to a smaller time frame. Make sure I have the right day. It's the 8th. Oh, I'm gonna have to go down to the 3-minute, I think. Just it right here. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I did grab it right down in here. I got the 455 puts at $1.97, and they went to 233 right here. Now what I was looking at was, let me check the Trade Ideas channel and see what I said pre-market on where is it? I said Snap calls over 47, Disney calls over 148, SPY calls over 457. See, I was looking at SPY calls, and when it popped up and started dropping, I grabbed it right in here, and I got that little drop right there. So at first I was looking at the the long side, then it just got slammed, and then I switched to the short side right away. So that is why you need to be ready to change your position just because you're biased in a certain direction and it drops. And I really thought it was going to drop a lot more than what it did, but it kind of held like pre-market lows right in here at around 454. But I got a quick little 35-cent move on that on SPY. So then I did take SPY puts again at 1027, which I believe is right in here. Yeah, right here, right when it topped out. I was looking at Friday. I mean, it had a little bit of resistance in this 459 area, 458.50. So when it started to pull back, this is where I grabbed it, right in this little area right here. So they went from let's see, 174 to 225. Wait a minute, is that the right one? Yeah, the 458. Yeah, 174 to 225. I was in the money. So yeah, I was in the money at that point in time. So that's why they went like 50 cents on that little drop right there. Then I grabbed them again. See, the thing I did a lot this week is I didn't think the market was going to recover as much as it did. I mean, it had these monster gap ups and gap downs and stuff like that. Well, actually gap ups, I should say, for this week. And you just, with the scare from last week, the couple weeks ago, the Omicron and whatever it is, and the market just having huge gap ups, and you get very skeptical of these big gap ups where you just think, okay, you get the big gap ups are going to gap and drop, and they ended up just kept going. So I kept trying to guess the top a lot of the time on this weekend. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I just wasn't convinced that the market was going to keep going up. There's so many reasons for the market to come down, but the market doesn't care. So But I did get this little drop right here, got this little drop right in here. Then I ended up grabbing them again at 11.20, which is right here. Because what I've been doing is it dropped a little bit and pops back up, and usually if it comes back into the same price I got it at and it doesn't like ridiculously pop on me, that I will actually kind of re-enter again, and I actually did. I got the 458 puts again at $1.87, and they went from $1.87 to $2.19 in that little drop right there. Then look, they just popped right there, and this is where I ended up grabbing again 459 puts at 12.20, which is right here. I got it again right here, thinking that we're gonna drop again, because what's been happening a lot lately is that it will chop in a range, and when it gets to the top of the range, it will end up being like it will come back down. But I hate really shorting the top at high a day, especially with SPY being so ridiculous that it's a lot riskier than it is down here. But you can't pick the market you want. You just got to trade what's there, and just the market's very tricky lately. You can't short at the lower day because it will bounce, and you can't short at the higher day because it will squeeze. So you have to kind of play the range and play a little small, a little cautious and stuff like that. So I did grab the 459 puts right here, and it popped on me, and I ended up taking a loss on that. So I did end up stopping out like at 60 cents or something, so $1 something on that. So no big deal. That was the first loss for the week. Then I ended up trading SPX puts. SPX 45.85 puts at 144, which is right 144, right in here. I grabbed it. Now, I had the 45.85 puts at $3.20, and they did go from 320 to 460. Now, I did grab them again at 326, which is right here. So got that little dump right there. Then it popped back up. I grabbed them again, and they got that little dump right there. And I got the 45.80 puts at 45.85 puts at $2.55 this time, and they went from 255 to 310 in that little drop. See, it doesn't take much to get 50 cents on SPX. So if a good strategy on SPX, just stick to the 50 cents, and if you time it right, and you'll nail it every time. But timing can be tricky on end of the day, expiration days, and so I end up taking my bigger losses on those than because if you don't time it just right, data would just kick in and just eat it away, or it just will not go. I just timed it wrong, and I got it at the wrong time. So I mean that does happen. You can't. These end of the day plays is so hard to time, because sometimes they're at 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30. Lately it's been 3:45, and when you start to try to like use that time frame, and every time at 3:30 it's going to dump or it's going to make its move, then it just doesn't, and that's just the way it is. You just got to deal with how it is. So now on Tuesday, I played Microsoft. I didn't take that many trades on Tuesday. It was very, very choppy that day on Tuesday. So the 7th, I grabbed Microsoft. The 335 calls at $1.77, and I said in the trade ideas room on let's see, Microsoft calls over 333, and I said Apple puts under 168. So 333, which is right here, well, rate pre-market high, but I ended up grabbing it at 950 right here, because the one thing I like at pre-market, when I make the calls, I use pre-market highs in case it just rips. But if it like comes down a little bit in the morning, then it drops a little bit, I will use this opening range candle. So because it dropped, it came back up, I got it right here. I readjust because of this one candle right here. It does it all the time. Like right here it dropped, I would use this again, and it did over here. So that's how I do things. In the morning, this one candle will change greatly how I look at it. So but if it didn't have this candle and it just ripped, that would have been the 330. 333 would have been the area to grab, but because it did this, I changed it to this right here. So they went from $1.77 to 335. So they went close to 100%, not quite on those. Then I ended up grabbing SPY puts. Let's see. Yeah, I think what time was I say that's in the trade ideas room? Just check the timestamp. 9:41. I said SPY puts under 464 on the 7th. No, it didn't go. Yeah, I didn't go onto that. So I get the right day here. Yeah, the 7th. I grabbed SPY puts at 467. I mean at 1023, which is right here. I remember this. You get this huge gap up, and this is where I kept thinking, okay, we were going to drop down, and this is how it's been almost all week. You have the big gap ups, and you think it's going to fill the gap, that it's run too much, and SPY just keeps going with its ridiculous run. And I did the same thing again on Tuesday, trying to guess the top, and I shouldn't have done that. But I mean, I didn't take any losses on Tuesday, so I did grab this candle. I did get this right here. So the 467 puts right in this candle did go from 169 to 184, not much, and then it popped again. Then I grabbed SPY puts again at 315, which is right here. I grabbed it right there, and they went from 169 to 250. So this is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, it's got like a descending wedge right here. It's flattening out. It's making lower highs, and it just falls through. Even though it's close to high a day, you got to be careful, because SPY at the end of the day, they like to chop it near high a day. And sometimes they'll just squeeze it. But after having this ridiculous run, I was kind of comfortable. I mean, you're telling me I gotta back this out more so I can actually see the full picture. I mean, you're talking 450. Well, we're around at the 459 to. I mean, you're talking almost a $10 move. I mean, I can't imagine they're gonna push it any more than what they have from the gap up in the run. So, but this is what I was talking about right here. The last 15 minutes or the last 10 minutes, they've been making this big move. So it's been happening. It didn't really have, that candle's pretty sizable, but this is what's been happening a lot, is the last 10-15 minutes is where you've been having that massive pop or drop. But yeah, I played this, I got this, I was happy about that, and then it just popped. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so not much of a move. I should have grabbed that, but to me, I just kept thinking in my mind, and SPY just gets you conditioned where you get these big gap ups. You think it's just gonna fail instantly, and ends up just keep pushing, and you just keep watching it go up. And I just kept trying to guess the top. I did it on Tuesday and Monday, so I was like, okay, whatever. So then on Wednesday, that was probably the mistakes I probably made this week. But hindsight's always 20/20. It's easy to look back and say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But when you're in real time, you don't know what's going to happen. You get the mind games from what's happening throughout the day. And then we had news, I think, on Friday that just was not great, and just SPY kept going. So it's ridiculous. But I did grab SPY puts on the 8th, which is Wednesday, at 9:31. Drop, pop back up. Let's see what I said on the 8th. I said SPY puts under 468, snap calls over 51.50, and Disney calls over 153. And I think all three of them hit. I'm not quite sure. I think I remember that. But let's see. Yeah, I did grab the puts at open. I was looking at it right underneath what did I say? 468. and which is right down in here, and I did grab it, got that a little bit of a play, not much, 125. The 468 puts went from 125 to 164 in that little bit, and it popped back up. So I'm glad I got out. Then I got into Disney right at the same time. Let's see, the 8th. Now Disney, I was looking at, okay, we had this little drop on Tuesday, and it popped up a little bit on pre-market, and I sit over what, 150, over 153, which is oh yeah, 153 was this high. But like I said, because it dropped right in this candle, came back down and came back up, I grabbed it right here at the 152 area, and I got the 152.50 calls at 120, and they went to 195. So that was a nice little play. Then I ended up grabbing, I did grab Snap. Yeah, Snap did go too. I got it at 9. I thought all three of them hit. I remember that day because I was like, oh, I called all three of them and all three hit. And I was like, and I'm glad I grabbed this one because this one ended up doing really well. You just never know which one is going to be the big run on, which one's not. So I grabbed the Snap 52 calls at 69 cents, and like I said, over 51.50, which is right here, which is the previous day's highs. It dropped a little bit. I mean, I could have grabbed it right there, but I had SPY and Disney going on. Then it came up here, and I grabbed it right in here, and then it just took off. So those 52 calls at 69 cents went to $3 if he held all the way through, which I didn't, but I know a couple people in the room sold in the high too, so congrats to them. So that was a very, very nice smooth play. I was kind of shocked that Snap made almost a $5 move, because usually Snap does not make monster moves like that. Usually they're like, yeah, see, this is that day right there. Usually, yeah, I guess they do a couple times here and there, but usually the average range on Snap is $2 to $3 on average. So having a $5 range day is pretty significant. Probably should have played that drop up here, because usually when you have these massive pops like that, they give it back, and they kind of gave back a little bit right there. So then I ended up playing SPY puts at let's see, 1029 on the 8th, which is right here. 1029. I played a lot of tickers like in the first hour. 1029 right here. So yeah, I got this SPY 467 puts at 1029, which is right here, and because we had it right here, pop up to VWAP, came back down and got back to lower day. And I did grab the puts here. I was kind of worried about that it might try to bounce at lower day, because SPY likes to do that once in a while, especially in a tight range. It will like go to lower day, then fake out, then pop and rip. So a little worried about that, but it did actually end up falling through. So the puts went from 84 cents to $1.17. Not much of a play right there. Then I ended up trying to grab an end of the day play, SPX at 301, which is right here. I got it right at the double top. I was seeing, the inverted head and shoulders, but to me, it just looked like it was going to drop, because sometimes it just likes to show a bullish move at the end of the day, then just dump on you. And so that's why I was like, okay, I'll grab it, and I'll risk a little bit. And then it just chopped and grinded upwards and ended up being a loss. So no big deal, whatever. So I wasn't risking anything that I already didn't have. So then I went to, let's see, Thursday with 4 wins and 1 loss. And Facebook, I had right here, right out of the gate, I said on the 9th, Roku calls over 260, SPY puts into 467.50, and Microsoft calls over 335. Now, I didn't even have Facebook on the thing, on the watch list, or, well, I shouldn't say watch list, the Trade Ideas channel in the morning. I wasn't really watching it. I saw it, and I saw it drop pre-market, not pre-market, at open. Then I saw it starting to rip up, and I was like, okay, it gets over this 331, 332 area. This thing's going to rip, and I grabbed it right then and there. I didn't even have time to tell people in advance. Like I said, I wasn't even on my radar at that point, but then I saw the way it was looking. I just jumped into it. So I had the 332.50 calls at 223, and they went to $5.05. So it was 100% move on that. So that was a nice little play. Then I had SPY puts again on, let's see, at 956. I had the 467 puts at 154. 956. Right here. I think I grabbed it right in here. No, 956. Right here. For some reason I grabbed it right here. Not quite sure why I grabbed it right in there. I probably grabbed it in this, yeah, I grabbed it in this candle. For some reason, I don't know why I grabbed it. I probably should have. I probably thought I grabbed it down here, but I don't know why I grabbed it there. But anyways, I grabbed it here. Then it ended up dropping. So the 467 puts went from $1.50. Oh yeah, okay, I remember this. I think I got it right here, right at the tail, at the near the lower day, right in here, and it popped back up, and then it finally dropped, and they didn't go that much because of this little chop right here. It didn't really drop that much, but anyways, it went from 154 to 164, only 10 cents. Blah, no big deal, whatever. Then I ended up grabbing Snap calls again. I played Snap a few times this week. I really enjoyed playing Snap this week, especially when momentum was on its side. I grabbed them at the alerts blended together, so I can't see the timestamp. I really hate that. Let's see, 10:01, which was right here. You got it popped up a little bit, came back down, then I grabbed this break right in here, and the 54 calls went from 75 cents to $1.41, so almost 100% on that move right there. So that was a nice little pop. Then I ended up grabbing SPY puts again. I played a lot of SPY puts this week, just trying to guess the top. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I can see why I did. And if I had to do it again, I'd probably end up doing the same thing again, because I don't know, just how I'm wired, I guess. But yeah, I got the 467 puts at 11.16, which is right. Oh, I already did the 11.16. No, the 10.56. Yeah, this is the first one right here. Okay, this is making sense, right? This is the one that had the 10 cents. This is the one right here. The one that went from $1.54 to $1.64. This is the one. So this explains why I grabbed it here. I got it right there, and it popped on me. Then I didn't grab it again right here. So I grabbed it twice. Once right there and once right here. And this time, no, wait a minute. I'm confusing myself. No, yeah, I grabbed it right here, and this is where I sold it for the 10 cents. And the other one I got was 11.16. For some reason, I thought I'm looking at the time wrong. It's 10. It's not 11 right there. Right here. Let's see. Right 10.16. Yeah, this one was the loss. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, I see. See, this is why, you got to look at the timestamps. That's why I post them, so I can look at the timestamps and go back and look. Yeah, this is the first one I took right here, popped, and I went 10 cents. And I tried to grab it again right here, and this is where I ended up taking my second loss right here. In fact, I think I sold it up in here, and it came back down. I don't think it ever went green, but I think it came back to close, so yeah, I took a loss on that one. Then I ended up taking a SPY calls at 257, which is rate 257. Right in here, 257. I gotta go back to a smaller time frame. 257. Is this the 8th? 9th. I'm sorry, 9th. 257. Right here. This is where I grabbed it. Right in here. When that pop up, then it dropped. The calls I had were 468 calls at $1.40, and then went to $1.68. I grabbed it here because of the lower day. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where SPY likes to bounce at the lower day, and this is where I ended up grabbing. Got a nice little bounce right there. Then it dropped more. I probably should have bought it again right there, because you gotta have to look at the 10-minute. I think there was a bullish divergence going on at this point in time. Yeah, I could see. No, because this is where I got it right here. No, it didn't. So yeah, that was Thursday. Now Friday. Friday was kind of not great of a day. I took a lot of trades, did a lot of stupid stuff on Friday. Well, no, I shouldn't say a lot of stupid. It just Snap. I grabbed Snap at open. Let's see, at Snap I said, let's go back to the trade ideas room. Snap calls of 53.50 and Facebook calls over 336. So I 53.50. Well, I didn't quite get there. I should have stuck to that level because it never hit. But I did drop a little bit and I grabbed it right there. And they were at 57 cents. So I mean, they were basically nothing. Yeah, and they just went against me really, really fast. So then I ended up grabbing SPY puts. Actually, I grabbed SPX puts right away. I grabbed SPX puts at $3. Had this big exaggerated move up on inflation numbers, and it's the highest numbers in 40 years. But yet, it just market goes up. It's not. I don't think it's really good news considering it's highest in 40 years. So to me, it didn't seem like great news. But yeah, it popped on it. Then it dropped. It opened. So I grabbed the 46.70 puts at $3, and they went from let's see, $3 to $10.60 on that drop right there. Now I grabbed Disney puts. Let's see, at this rate, at almost at the same time. I think I remember there's quite a few times I had two positions going on at the same time, and I grabbed Disney at rate here on the drop. Let me see what the timestamp was actually on that. I think I grabbed it on the drop. 9:59. Yeah, I just grabbed it in this candle right here. Right here. Wait, 9:50, 9:30, 9:40. Yeah, I grabbed it right here. Popped back up. Then it slammed. I grabbed the 152.50 puts at a 46 cents, and they went from 46 to $1.16 on that drop. So they went in the money. I mean, they were at the money right here. So all I needed was a small drop, and they were going to send them. So I do like playing tickers like that. Then I ended up playing Microsoft puts. No, Microsoft had that massive news. Did it have massive news? No, I don't remember. Anyways, I was looking at it because SPY was down. SPY was dropping. Why can't I type right today? SPY was dropping pre-market, not pre-market, in the morning. As you can see right here, it's dropping, and Microsoft is popping. So why is... There we go. What? Microsoft. There we go. Microsoft was going against SPY, so that had me curious. And then I was like, okay, we're getting pretty extreme. I mean, we've gone from 333 to we was up $10. So I did grab it at 1017, which is right here in this candle. No, I grabbed it in this candle. And I grabbed it in this candle right here, and it did come down. So the Microsoft 340 puts went from, let's see, 97 cents to 215. So they went over 100%. So I was kind of like, you know, $10 range on Microsoft is pretty extreme, you know, and what, almost an hour. I mean, so Microsoft usually doesn't have those big ranges like that, but I wasn't too afraid to short it. So I mean, 97 cents. Really, the cons were pretty cheap, and it's trading up here in this 342, and they were at 340 puts. Only needed to go down a couple of dollars, and it would send them. So and it did. So then I ended up playing SPX puts. No, I can't trade SPX. I can't look at SPX because there's no VWAP. That's why I always chart with SPY. 46.70 puts on SPX at 1132, which is right 1132 right here. No, 1132. Where did I grab it? Right here? I grabbed it right in here. Let's see. 1132. Must have did it for the, yeah, I think I was doing it for the rejection of the 20 EMA, because usually when it gets pulled down, it comes back up, it likes to reject a little bit. So they were at $4, very, very risky, kind of expensive, and they went from $4 to $4.70. So I got the 50 cents plus on that. Very, very risky. Then I took 4680 SPX puts again at 1147, which is right when it was chopping up here. Right in here, I grabbed it again. Now I was looking at, it chopping around VWAP and going up to VWAP. I actually thought it was going to, when it rejected 20 EMA, I thought it was going to reject this, but I grabbed it right in here. And they got them at $3, and they went from $3 to $5.70 in that little drop. I mean, you had to hold through the chop, but it did actually drop quite a bit right there. It doesn't look like much, but on SPX, that's a lot. I mean, that's an easy 100% move. Now, if this candle did this over here, that would have gone 100%, no problem. But I mean, it came close. It went from $3 to $5.70, almost 100% right there in that little drop. So then I ended up grabbing SPX puts again at 233. Let me blow it up. I don't like it that close to my face. 233 right here. Yeah, right here. That's where I grabbed them again. Grabbed the 4690 puts at $2.30, and they went from 230 to 540. So it doesn't take much to go right here. 100% rate in that move. That one I timed perfect. This one I got a little choppy. This one was nice. So this one was choppy, and I timed this one good as well. Then this is where I did my dumb end of the day move. It started to pop a little bit. I grabbed it right here. SPX puts right at, let's see, 331, which is right here. I was thinking 331 right here. I was thinking, and they were going to double top it. Pre-market high. Then they had the high of day right here. So it got rejected this area twice. So, okay, I was like, okay, it's going to reject right here. And we're going to dump end of the day. And it didn't. It got pushed. So that was the last loss of the week. I wasn't too happy about that. And, even though the pattern was bullish, at the end of the day, the scenario is completely different. It's all about how are they going to push the market, and you can have a bullish chart and they'll just slam it on you. You can have a bearish chart and they'll pop it on you. At the end of the day, shenanigans is completely different than the rest of the day. That last 30 minutes to 15 minutes, the market makers like to play their games and just kind of predict what they're going to do. But yeah, I really thought they were going to triple top it right here, and they were going to slam it end of day, and they didn't. They pushed it. So I should have known it was Friday. Fridays, they have a habit of making a strong end on Fridays to make the weekly candle look good and brag all weekend long. The market's doing really good, because it's just kind of crap that these market makers and these analysts like to pull, and Kramer and stuff like that, that everything's sunshine and rainbows when things really aren't. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the recap. So looking back, I guess I kind of tried to guess the top too many times. I probably shouldn't have done that, but just to me, this whole week seemed like an exaggerated move, that it was going to pull back. It was not going to sustain it. And yeah, now we are near all-time high, or actually right at all-time high, because all-time high is 473.54, and we're at 471 right now. If you look at after hours. So FOMC's coming this week. They're probably going to push it, gap and grind it to FOMC. Then that's when the real games will begin. So that's why you're going to need to be in the room. So that's going to do it. Thank you for watching.